Ahoy! Welcome back, peace and blessings. 42 Divine Principles of my yacht, number 9. I have not carried away food. This principle really just goes over the anxiety we feel just being in a human body, and the limitations, the natural limitations that we have just being men and women, just being humans. I have not carried away food. This one's pretty deep. In the same way you have not carried away breath, it's pretty much just saying that you take what you need, and you don't take more than what you need, because food eventually will spoil. If the food doesn't get eaten, it will spoil. It's more righteous for all the food to be eaten than for all the food to spoil, It's more righteous for all the breath to be breathed, all the oxygen to be breathed in, than for there be no beings alive to breathe in the air, It'd be more righteous for all the water to be drunken. It'd be more righteous for all the water to get drunken than for all the water to just exist, Things were made for us, This realm was made for us. It goes back all the way to Adam and Eve, Everything was made for us. All the food in the world was made for us. All the air in the world was made for us. All the land was made for us, Everything that excites us, everything that we need, everything we want, was made for us, And people just have a natural anxiety being in a human body, Your body was made for you. The same way my body was made for me. People a lot of times get anxious just if someone looks at them. Like your body is right there. Y'all have eyes, It's just a natural way of things, If you're beautiful, I'm gonna want to look at you, If you're smart, I'm gonna want to listen to you. If you're strong, I'm gonna want to train with you, If you can make music, I wanna listen to your music, If you're a great architect, I'm gonna want to live in your house. If you're a great chef, I'm gonna want to eat your food, If you're a great tattoo artist, I'm gonna want to get tattoos by you, But people have like anxiety and just the structure and the societal norms that we have in place today. Things can get carried away, Things can get wasted, Some of the best songs of all time have not been heard, Some of the best chefs in the world only cook for themselves, Some of the best, most beautiful days in the world, people stay in the basement all day. That is carrying away food, just being wasteful. Because those days are limited, We have a set amount of time, we have a life expectancy. So to waste your days is to carry away food, To find something or someone or somewhere beautiful and not be there and appreciate that. That is carrying away food, To be gifted the knowledge and the light of God and to not share it is carrying away food, People will carry away food, put it in containers, put it in the refrigerator, don't even eat it, They could have gave that to someone who needed the food, right? And that goes way deeper than just food, There's messages people are putting in the refrigerator and not sharing, There's ideas people are putting in the refrigerator and letting them spoil. There's new business ideas, People are putting in the freezer, letting it spoil. That is carrying away food, Not being appreciative of all that God has given us, all that you have worked for, all that your family has done for you, all that you've done, And then the natural just beauty and light of the world. So when it's nice, don't carry away the food, Don't pretend like things aren't nice, People will do that sometimes. Sometimes it's anxiety, Like someone could be looking at me, maybe you know, like my old self, like years ago, someone would look at me. Maybe I'm in a foreign country or something, or out of state, you know, somewhere where there's not a lot of black people, you know, somewhere there's people, not a lot of people with tattoos or dreadlocks, piercings, or into the things I'm into. People are gonna look at me, you know, the same way I find someone interesting, I'm gonna look at them. But you know, we have that anxiety, you know, just all around us. Like, oh man, this girl's so cute. I don't look, you know, don't, you know, men get carried away, right? Or this guy's so fucking handsome. Don't look. Don't let him know I think he's handsome. Don't let her know I think she's beautiful. Don't let the chef know this is the best meal I ever tasted, you know. Don't let God know that I feel him every fucking day, you know. That is carrying away food. You know, don't let the artist know the song saved my life, you know. Once upon a time you saved my life, man. People would rather put that stuff in the refrigerator and let it spoil, you know, thinking they can save it, thinking it means something in the refrigerator. Food doesn't mean anything in the refrigerator. Food only means something when it's in your stomach, you know. And that analogy can carry out, you know. Music only means something when we have ears to listen to it, right? When we have feet to dance to it. You know, it's just about being graceful, about sharing with your brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? Our fellow humans, you know, we need more ideas. We love to communicate, you know. Communicating is natural, right? From the moment we're born, we're really just trying to communicate, right? Looking this way, like seeing what's up, like, oh, what is that? That's a color, you know. People don't think about their child self a lot. I think about my child self a lot, you know. I didn't even know the names of the colors. You got to think really deep. We didn't even know all the words we know now. We didn't know the places we knew now. We didn't know the people we knew now. We didn't know the music we knew now. We didn't know the food we knew now. We didn't know God like we know him now, you know. We didn't know love like we know it now. We didn't know strength like we know it now. Now we know, we have all these things. We get older, we acquire these things, this knowledge, this insight, and we put it in the refrigerator. We carry it away, you know. We take it from a place of gathering and try to bring it back home. When it belongs in the place of gathering, it belongs out in the world, you know. It belongs to be shared. So that's really the divine principle of my yacht number 9. You know, I have not carried away food. It's just, you know, we can only eat so much until we're full, you know. Then we start getting negative illnesses or diseases and things like that. We can only drink so much. You know, we can only listen to the same song so many times before we're sick of it. We can only hear the same thing so many times until we're sick of it. You know, but we keep repeating these things, ignoring the sickness, ignoring our body's natural reaction to things. When our body will tell us it's time to share things. It's time to isolate sometimes. It's time to be extroverted sometimes. It's time to try something new sometimes. It's time to go do my favorite thing again. You know, it's time to get people to join us. It's time to be alone sometimes. So that's the idea of carrying away food. You know, everybody deserves to eat. Right? They say Jesus, you know, multiplied the fish or whatever. However the story goes, I can't remember right now, but you know, Jesus had more fish, God had more bread, you know. But these are ideas, you know. It can be material, realistic, actual food, but it can also be other things, you know, love, knowledge, caring. You know, I can multiply my love in the world. I can multiply my light in the world. Nowadays, people would rather put their love and their light, their strength, their beauty, their wisdom in the refrigerator, you know, for themselves, put it in the freezer, put it in the deep freezer for themselves, put it in the cabinets, way in the back for themselves, you know, never even reach into it again, you know, let it sit for years, instead of going to, freaking insect, instead of going out into places of gathering, you know, going around their friends, sharing that, you know, inviting people over. Here's some knowledge, here's some strength, here's some beauty, here's some inspiration, here's some motivation, here's some gift straight from God that I received, I want to give to you, you know. Here's some beauty I can give straight to you. They rather keep that into themselves, you know, keep looking in the mirror, you know, taking pictures, not posting them, you know, just all kind of things, you know. I remember this one time, my friend was staying over, right? We were little kids. and it started thundering, real bad storm. And he got scared. We're that young. He got scared of the thunder, and like called his parents to come pick him up. I thought that was a little weird, like, just a storm. But looking back, it's like maybe this was his first storm without his parents, without his rock, without his protector, without his guidance. He didn't know what to do. Storms are crazy, right? Light flashing, thunder, boom, trees shaking, rubbing against the house, and all these things. It makes sense, right? There was a time when we didn't know what a storm was. Now everyone knows what a storm is, and we still allow people to be homeless, even though we all know what storms are. We all know what a heat wave is. There was a time we didn't know what a heat wave was. We didn't know what dehydration was. We didn't know what starving was. Now we know all these things, and we know people are going through it. These people deserve our help the most. Once you have the knowledge, there's no excuse to keep carrying away food, if you have the power. The same truth, when we were kids, we didn't even know what fighting was, right? We didn't know what arguing was, Then we get into our first fight. We see our first fight, We become numb to it. We know what fighting is now. Then you have to learn how to not fight. You have to learn how to break up fights, how to keep peace, So that's carrying away food. When you put your peace in the refrigerator and you don't give no one a piece, you don't give no one peace. That is carrying away food, But truly, when my aunt's really saying that you can't do that, just existing, breathing, living, you're a part of the world. We're all part of the collective conscious, We're all part of the hive mind. We communicate every day. Even the most isolated person still has like social media and stuff, still has a phone, still, even if they don't have any of that, they still see people in their real life, Even if they don't see people, like the most isolated of isolated person, they're still, birds in the sky. They're still the universe. They're still the stars that they're communicating with. They're still God they're communicating with. It's impossible to carry away food because you're with God all the time. You're still sharing your knowledge, your person, your soul with God. He's sharing his with yours. And then it gets, deeper than that. You start sharing it with other humans and everything. To eventually, there's people who know millions of people. There's people who know like 5 people. And then there's people who know 10 million people. Or 10 million people know them, And they're sharing their food, right? They're sharing their gift, their passion, their art, their creativity, their meaning to life. So that's my message for today. Thank you guys for making it to the end. Peace and blessings till next time.